Hello everyone, I am Prabhake, working as Assistant Professor in the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, Sai Vidya Institute of Technology, Bengaluru. Today, we will have a discussion on magnetic hard disk. Hard disk is a secondary storage device. It is a flat disk covered with magnetic coating to hold the information. It is used to store various programs and files. Magnetic disks are less expensive than RAM memory and can store large amounts of data, but data access rate is slower than main memory because it is a secondary memory that will be outside the motherboard. As the name implies, the storage medium is a magnetic disk system consists of more disks mounted on common spindle thin magnetic film deposited on a disk, usually on both the sides of the disk. This diagram gives you a mechanism structure where a number of disks are mounted on a single shaft, which is the rotary drive shaft will be rotating with a standard speed, and these magnetic disks will be coated with a magnetic material on both the sides. And this is an access mechanism which consists of a read or write head in order to read or write the data from the disk. The disks are placed on a rotary drive that magnetized surfaces move close proximity to read or write head as shown in the figure. The disk rotates with a uniform speed and each head consists of a magnetic yoke magnetizing coil as indicated in this figure. You can make out this is the thin magnetic surface of the disk and this is the magnetizing coil. It is in the form of a magnetic yoke and this yoke is wounded with a magnetizing current, and there will be a small air gap between this magnetic yoke and the magnetic thin film, and this magnetic yoke act as read or write head. In magnetic hard disk, digital information can be stored on the magnetic film by applying a current pulses of suitable polarity to the magnetizing coil. This causes the magnetization in the area immediately underneath the head switch, and it will be in the direction parallel to the applied field. The same head can be used for reading the stored information. In this case, changes in the magnetic field in the vicinity, the head caused by the movement of the film relative to the yoke induces the voltage in the coil, and the coil serves as a sense coil. The polarity of this voltage monitored by the control circuitry to determine state of magnetization of the film. Only changes in the magnetic field under the head can be sensed during the read operation. Therefore, the binary states 0 and 1 represented by two opposite states of magnetization, and a voltage is induced in the head only at 0 to 1 and 1 to 0 transition in the bit stream. A long string of zeros and ones causes an induced voltage only at the beginning and end of the string. To determine the number of consecutive zeros or ones stored on the magnetic disk, a clock must be provided along with the information within a synchronization fashion. In some early design, the clock was stored on separate track where a change in magnetization is forced for each bit period. Using the clock signal as a reference, the data stored on the tracks can be read correctly. In modern approach, the clock information is combined with the data. Several different techniques have been developed for encoding the data, and one of the simple scheme which has been depicted in the figure is phase encoding method or a Manchester encoding method. From the diagram, it is clear that the binary bits are represented with a phase encoding technique. In this scheme, changes in the magnetization occur for each data bit, and the change is guaranteed at the midpoint of each bit period, thus providing the clock information along with the data bits. The drawback of Manchester encoding is its poor bit storage density. The space required to represent each bit must be large enough to accommodate two changes in the magnetization. Read and write head must be maintained at a very small distance from the moving surface in order to achieve high bit densities and reliable read or write operations. When the disks are moving at their steady rate, air pressure develops between the disk surface and the head, and this air pressure forces the head to move away from the surface. This force can be counteracted by a spring loaded mounting arrangement for the head that allows it to be pressed towards surface again. The flexible spring connection between the head and its arm mounting permits the head to fly at a desired distance away from the surface in spite of any small variations in the flatness of the surface. In most modern disk units, the disk and read-write head are placed in a sealed, air-filtered enclosure. This approach we call it as Winchester technology. In such a unit, the read or write head can operate closer to the magnetized track surfaces because dust particles, which are the problem in unsealed assemblies, are absent in this Winchester technology. The closer the heads are to the track surface, the more densely data can be packed along the track, and the closer the tracks can be to each other. Thus, the Winchester disk can have a larger capacity for a given physical site compared to the unsealed units. The advantage of Winchester technology is that data integrity tends to be a greater in a sealed units where storage medium is not exposed to a contaminating elements. The read or write head of the disk system are movable. There is one head per surface. All heads are mounted on a combo-like arm that can move readily across the stack of disks to provide access to the individual tracks. To read or write data on a given track, the arm holding the read or write head must first be positioned to that track. The disk system consists of three key parts. One part is the assembly of the disk platters, which is usually referred as the disk. The second part comprises the electromechanical mechanism that spins the disk and moves the read or write head, and it is called disk drive. The third part is the electronic circuitry that controls the operation of the system, and it is called disk controller. The disk controller may be implemented as a separate module, or it may be incorporated into the enclosure that contains the entire disk system. One should note that the term disk is often used to refer to the combined package of the disk drive and the disk that it contains. The organization of data on magnetic hard disk is illustrated in the figure. From the figure, it is very clear that each surface is divided into number of concentric tracks and each track is divided into number of sectors. This gives the track 1, track 2, like that number of tracks will be there, and each track is divided into number of sectors. This is sector 1, 2, like this. Every track is divided into number of sectors. The set of corresponding tracks on all surfaces of the stack of the disk forms a logical cylinder. The data on all tracks cylinder can be accessed without moving the read or write heads associated with that particular magnetic surface. The data are accessed specifying the surface number, the track number, and the sector number. The read and write operations start at sector boundaries. Data bits are stored serially on each track. Each sector is usually contains 512 bytes of data. The data are preceded by a sector header that contains identification or addressing information used to find the desired sector on the selected track. Following the data, there are additional bits that constitute an error correcting code. The error correcting codes are used to detect the correct errors that may have occurred in writing or reading the 512 bytes of data. To easily distinguish between two consecutive sectors, there are small inter-sector gaps. An unformatted disk has no information on its tracks. The formatting process divides the disk physically into tracks and sectors. This process may discover some defective sectors or even a hole on the tracks. The disk controller keeps a record of such defects and excludes them from use. The capacity of a formatted disk is a proper indicator of the storage capability of a given disk. The formatting information accounts for about 15% of the total information that can be stored on the disk. It comprises the sector headers, the ECC bits, and inter-sector gaps. In a typical computer, the disk is subsequently divided into logical partitions. There must be at least one such a partition called the primary partition, and there may be number of additional partitions. From the figure, it is clear that each track has same number of sectors. So, all the tracks have the same storage capacity. Thus, the storage information is packed more densely in the inner tracks compared to the outer tracks. This arrangement is used in many disks because it simplifies the electronic circuits needed to access the data. But it is possible to have more sectors on outer tracks, which have a longer circumference at the expense of more complicated access circuitry. This scheme is used in large disks. There are two components involved in the time delay between receiving an address and beginning of actual data transfer. The first one is called seek time. Seek time is the time required to move the head, that is the read or write head, to the proper track. This depends on the initial position of the head relative to the track specified in the address. The average value of the seek time varies from 5 to 8 milliseconds. The second component is the rotational delay, which is also called as latency time. This is the amount of time that elapses after the head is positioned over the correct track until the starting position of the addressed sector passes under the read or write head. On average, this is the time for half the rotation of the disk. The sum of these two delays is called as disk access time. If only a few sectors of data are to be moved in a single operation, the access time is at least an order of magnitude longer than the actual data transfer period. Now, what are the different types of disk available? Typical disk will come around 3.5 inch in diameter, having a high capacity, high data rate, and with the following parameters. There are 20 data recording surfaces with 15,000 tracks per surface. There is an average of 400 sectors per track, and each sector contains 512 bytes of data. Hence, the total capacity of a formatted disk is 60 gigabytes. The average seek time will be 6 milliseconds. The platters rotate at 10,000 revolutions per minute so that the average latency will be 3 milliseconds, which is time for a half rotation. The average internal transfer rate from a track to the data buffer in the disk controller is 34 megabytes per second. When connected to SoC-Si bus, a drive of this type may have an external transfer rate of 160 megabytes. There are also some very small disk which is of 1 inch which can store 1 gigabyte of data. Its physical size is comparable to a math book, or its weight is less than an ounce. Such a disk are attractive for the use in portable equipment and handheld devices. In digital camera, such a disk could store 1,000 photographs. Now we'll discuss about another topic related to the magnetic hard disk, data buffer or cache. A disk drive is connected to the rest of the computer system using some standard interconnection scheme. Normally, a standard bus such as SoC-Si bus is used. A disk drive that incorporates the required SoC-Si interior circuitry is usually referred as SoC-Si drive. The SoC-Si bus is capable of transferring data at much higher rates than the rate at which the data can be read from disk tracks. An efficient way to deal with the possible differences in transfer rate between the disk and the bus include a data buffer, which is one of the units related to the magnetic hard disk. This buffer is a semiconductor memory capable of storing a few megabytes of data. The requested data are transferred between disk tracks and the buffer at a rate depending on the rotational speed of the disk. Transfer between the data buffer and other devices connected to the bus, normally to the main memory, can take place at the maximum rate allowed by the bus speed. The data buffer can also be used to provide a caching mechanism for the disk. When a read request arrives at the disk, The controller can first check to see if the desired data are already available on the cache, that is a buffer, so that the data can be accessed and placed on the SSASI bus in a microseconds rather than in milliseconds. Otherwise, the data are read from the disk track in the usual way and stored in the cache. Since it is likely that subsequent read requests will be for the data that sequentially follow the currently accessed data, the disk controller can cause more data than needed to be read and placed on the cache, thus potentially shortening the response time for the next request. The cache typically is large enough to store entire tracks of data, so a possible strategy is begin transferring the contents of track into the data buffer as soon as the reader write is positioned over the desired track. Another major unit of the magnetic hard disk is disk controller. Operation of disk drive is controlled by disk controller circuit, which also provides an interface between the disk drive and the bus that connects it to the rest of the computer system. The disk controller may be used to control more than one drive. A disk controller that is connected directly to the processor system bus or to an expansion bus such as PCI contains a number of registers that can be read and written by the operating system. Thus, communication between the operating system and the disk controller is achieved in the same manner as with any I/O interface. The disk controller uses DMA scheme to transfer data between the disk and the main memory. Actually, these transfers are from or to the buffer, that is the data buffer, which is implemented as a part of the disk controller module. The OS initiates the transfer by issuing read or write request, which entail loading the control register with the necessary addressing and control information, typically the main memory address, disk address, word count. Then what is a main memory address? The address of the first main memory location of the block of words that are involved in the data transfer is taken as one of the control information. Disk address is the location of sector containing the beginning of the desired block of words on the magnetic hard disk. Word count is the total number of the words in a block that has to be transferred. The disk address issued by the OS is a logical address. The corresponding physical address on the disk may be different. The bad sector may be detected with the help of disk controller, and the disk control keeps track of such sectors and substitutes other sectors instead of bad sectors. Normally, a few spare sectors are kept on each track or on another track in the same cylinder, which can be used as substitutes for the bad sector. On the disk drive side, the controller performs the major functions which are given below. First one is the seek that causes the disk drive to move the read or write head from its current position to the desired track. Disk controller performs a read operation. That means it initiates the read operation starting at the address specified in the disk address register. Data read serially from the disk are assembled into words and then placed into the data buffer to transfer to the main memory. The number of words determined by the word count register. Disk controller also performs the write operation. It transfers the data to the disk using a control method which is similar to that of the read operation. It also performs error checking operation. It computes the error correcting code value for the data read from the given sector and compares it with the corresponding ECC value read from the disk. In case of a mismatch, it corrects the error if possible, otherwise, it raises an interrupt to inform the OS that an error has occurred. During a write operation, the disk controller computes the ECC value for the data to be returned and stores the value on the disk. If a disk drive is connected to the bus that uses packetized transfer, then the control must be capable of handling such a transfers. In order to perform the read and write operations related with the magnetic hard disk, software and operating system involvement is very much necessary. Software and operating system implications with respect to hard disk is given below. All data transfer activities involving the disk are initiated by operating system. The disk is non-volatile storage medium. The OS itself is stored on the disk. During normal operation of a computer, parts of the OS are loaded into the main memory and executed as needed. When power is turned off, the contents of the main memory are lost. When the power is turned on again, the OS has to be loaded into the main memory, which takes place as a part of the process known as booting. To initiate booting process, a tiny part of the main memory is implemented as a non-volatile ROM. This ROM stores a small monitor program that can read and write main memory location as well as read one block of data stored on the disk at the address 0. This block is referred as a boot block which contains loader program. After the boot block is loaded into the memory by the ROM monitor program, it loads the main parts of the OS into the main memory. Disk accesses are very slow compared to the main memory accesses, mostly due to long seek times. After the OS initiates a disk transfer operation, it normally attempts to switch execution to some other task to make use of the time it would otherwise spend the waiting for the transfer to complete. The disk controller informs the OS when the transfer is completed by raising an interrupt signal. In a computer that has a multiple disk, the OS may require to transfer from several disks. Efficient operation is achieved with the help of DMA transfer from or to the one of the disk which occurs while another disk is doing a seek. The OS can schedule such a overlapped I/O activities. Now coming to the floppy disk. The devices previously discussed are known as hard or rigid disk units. Floppy disks are smaller, simpler, and cheaper disk units that consists of a flexible, removable plastic diskette coated with a magnetic material. The diskette is closed in a plastic jacket which has an opening where the read or write head makes a contact with the diskette. A hole in the center of the diskette allows a spindle mechanism in the disk drive to position and rotate the diskette. One of the simplest schemes used in the first floppy disk for recording the data in phase or a Manchester encoding, as we mentioned earlier. Disks encoded in this way are said to have single density. The more complicated variant of this scheme, called double density, that is most often used in a current standard floppy disk. It increases the storage density by a factor of 2 but also requires more complex circuits in the disk controller. The main feature of floppy disk is their low cost and shipping convenience. However, they have much smaller storage capacity, longer access time, and higher rates than the hard disk. Current standard floppy disk comes in 3.25 inches diameter and have the capacity to store 1.44 to 2 megabytes of data. Larger super floppy disks are also available. One type of such a disk is known as zip disk, which can store more than 100 megabytes of data. In recent years, the attraction of floppy disk technology has been diminished by the emergence of rewritable compact disk. Thank you.